Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is one of the best games of all time. The impact that Modern Warfare 2 had on the gaming industry as a whole was astronomical. On November 10th, 2009, Modern Warfare 2 was released. Now, Call of Duty was already a popular series and only on the rise, but if you ask anyone on the street if they played Call of Duty, they most likely will say they played Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare 2 carried one of the best story modes of all time, which is what Call of Duty was primarily known for at the time, with multiplayer only on the rise, and YouTube commentaries really only in the minority, and sniping montages and gameplay only really being the more popular thing being uploaded. Now, I'll get back to that YouTube stuff in a minute, but I want to talk about the game. Now, I don't really want to talk about the campaign, since most people know the story, knowing that Shepard's the bad guy, and he kills Ghost. Oh yeah, spoiler if you didn't know that. One thing I did discover though while looking at the campaign missions is that the Gulag was invented in Modern Warfare 2, which is pretty cool, and it shows up in a Spec Ops mission too, and now it's a modern meme. After you beat the campaign, you unlock the museum, where it shows all the missions and characters as well as some of the vehicles and weapons that you used throughout the campaign. Now, there's a big red button in each of the rooms, and it says not to press it, and well, if you're like me, you're gonna press it. If you press it, the museum comes to life and tries to kill you, which is a pretty cool addition. Now, Spec Ops was pretty much Infinity Ward's answer to Call of Duty Zombies, but was fun, but nothing really special. Basically just another basic wave-based game. Now, here's the moment you all have been waiting for. Multiplayer. Multiplayer in this game really changed the shift on how developers and Activision thought about Call of Duty as a whole. Now, this multiplayer was honestly the most broken multiplayer game you have ever played, which made it incredibly frustrating, yet incredibly fun. Modern Warfare 2 introduced so many new things. Pro perks, which adds to the grindability, calling cards and titles, which also adds to the grindability, and customization of the game as well. Each full completion of a gun can add a title and calling card. Now on to kill streaks. This is the first COD game to add customized kill streaks. Each game previously had the basic 3, 5, 7 kill streak, not giving you much to go for. The kill streaks in this game go from 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 15, and 25. Now you can only choose 3 at a time, but it's still cool nonetheless. The most popular kill streak in this game was the tactical nuke kill streak. If you were good enough to go on a 25 kill streak without dying, you could get a nuke and kill everyone and end the game and win no matter what, even if you're losing. The nuke kill streak is one of the most insane kill streaks ever. The balls they had to have that kill streak to end the game had to have been immaculate. But it made sense since COD was still kind of on that realism-esque state of the game before future titles added that the kill streak didn't end the game. The most popular kill streak method was the 7, 11, 25, since it was the fastest way to get a nuke. Since your kill streak counted towards other kill streaks, it was one of the, kind of faster ways to get nukes. People tended to use the Harrier Chopper Gunner nuke on the 7, 11, 25 kill streak, but you can opt to use an AC-130 since it was almost just as powerful. But I think in my opinion the Chopper Gunner killed a little bit faster and was a little bit better. Modern Warfare 2 had some new game modes added as well, including TDM Express, which is just shorter lobby times, and third-person team tactical. Now this is the first and last time, to my knowledge, we ever saw a third-person game mode in Call of Duty multiplayer, which sucks because it was fun, but sadly it wasn't the most popular. One of the coolest things added to the game was the throwing knife, which opted people to use it right off spawn every game. Hopefully they can get a cool clip. I will get to some not so great things towards the end of the video, but for now, I want to talk about pro perks. Pro perks were one of the most unique things added to the game and was added in more games down the line. Let's go through some of the perks. Now, every perk has a pro perk, and I also forgot that some of these perks existed, like Bling, which allows you to have 2 attachments, and Bling Pro lets you have 2 attachments on your secondary. Was mind-boggling back then. Marathon was unlimited sprint, which became pretty much a mainstay in Call of Duty from there on out. And Marathon Pro let you climb ladders and objects faster. Sleight of Hand was faster reloading, and Sleight of Hand Pro was a faster ADS, which pretty much helped the invention of quickscoping. One Man Army, which let you choose whatever class you wanted to on the spot, and One Man Army Pro was just swapping those classes faster. This was stupid broken because you pretty much get unlimited noob tubes. It was so broken that one time I saw Muzza Fuzza get a nuke just noob tubing from the back of his spawn with One Man Army. That's so broken. Stopping power, we all know what that is, and stopping power pro was just increased damage on vehicles. Steady aim, which was increased hipfire accuracy, and steady aim pro was where you could hold your breath in longer while sniping. And the last one I'll cover is commando, one of the most broken perks to ever exist. So regular commando is increased melee lunge distance, which is totally unnecessary. And then Commando Pro was no fall damage, which was kind of honestly nice, because back in the day, you could fall something really small and die for pretty much no reason. One of the newest additions to the game was Death Streaks. They weren't that special to be honest, but interesting nonetheless. Copycat is pretty much one of the only unique ones where you could copy your killer's class in the kill cam. Martyrdom, Painkiller, and Final Stand are pretty much different versions of other perks. And Primary Grenades, Technical Insertions were added, which in theory was really good. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a flare you can place down and you'll respawn on it once you die. So ideally, I'm assuming that the thought was if you wanted to play an objective game, you place it near the objective so you can get closer to it, and when you die, you're spawning closer and closer. Well, you see, technical nukes were really popular amongst friends and YouTubers, as well as you could get titles and emblems for it, and not everyone can go on a 25 kill streak, and it was a pretty high praise if you could. So with the tactical insertion and the power of your friends, nuke boosting was introduced. The most popular method was you search for a free-for-all, your friend joins you, and if it's a big enough map, you go into some vacant corner, and you just sit there and kill your friend over and over and over again until you get a nuke, and vice versa. I had a lot of fun back in the day pulling a Sandy Ravage and killing nuke boosters when they were one off of a nuke. The amount of rage that they probably had was honestly pretty fulfilling. Now, going off of nukes comes again the kill streaks, and I mean how the kill streaks were called out. Like in my World at War video, I want to showcase some of the most impactful and more popular kill streaks because, like I said in my World at War video, it just felt more engulfing into the gameplay when the casters would shout that the enemy kill streak was coming your way.
We've been EMP'd! Electronics are down! We've been EMP'd! Electronics are down! Enemy nuke incoming! We're done! Enemy AC-130 above! Enemy AC-130 above! Tactical nuke incoming! Enemy nuke incoming! It's over!
Some of the worst things in Modern Warfare 2 were Last Stand, insane weapon imbalancing, noob tubes, one-man army, shotguns, and launchers as secondaries, campers. So many campers. Hackers. So many hackers. 10th Prestige lobbies, nobody being legit 10th Prestige, which I did want to comment on. If you noticed earlier in the video, I had all the titles and emblems. I did do a Prestige lobby going from the start of Prestige 3 to the end of Prestige 3, which gave me all emblems and calling cards. But I prestiged afterwards and played the game legit because at the age of 11, morally, I couldn't go through with it, knowing the guilt I would have had if I would have got 10th Prestige through a hacked lobby. For some reason, I was okay with it for the 3rd Prestige, but not for the rest of them. But I digress. And all those issues I was talking about are only really scratching the surface of some of the issues people have with Modern Warfare 2. That's why there's not really a Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer remaster. Developers have came out and said they have all the right things they need to do for it, but they're not sure what direction they want to go for. If they want to, keep all the stuff broken like how it was, how people remember it, or like COD 4, where it's pretty much like a remake, and it's still the same game, but some weapons are kind of different. They kind of feel different. The game feels different. They don't know which direction they want to go with. Personally, I don't know where I stand. I think maybe you have to kind of keep some of the broken stuff, but balance out some of it, like noob tubes, maybe make them less impactful. Commando having the shortest knife distance ever. I'm not really sure. Modern Warfare 2 brought a lot of new people to the Call of Duty scene. Why, you may ask? It could have been the high game sales being one of the most popular selling games at the time. It could have been the people switching over from Halo. Maybe. In my opinion, it was the impact of YouTube. Everyone and their mom and their mom's mom was uploading gaming commentaries to their channel. Now, Modern Warfare 2 came out post Guitar Hero 3, which was one of the original video game booms on YouTube, where everyone was uploading Guitar Hero playthroughs on their channel, and As Guitar Hero started to kind of fall out, Call of Duty came up on the rise. Modern Warfare 2 burst some of your favorite YouTubers' careers. Dr. Disrespect, where he was really honing in on his Disrespect character. CNanners, who was one of the godfathers of Call of Duty YouTube. Tabes, the Rad Brad, and my personal favorite, Nadeshot, the man who really needs no introduction. I'll give an honorable mention to Blame Truth because he was one of the first people doing Call of Duty commentaries, if not the first person to do COD commentaries, back in Call of Duty 4, and pretty much paved the way for everyone else. Back in the day, it was all passion. There was no real way to make money through YouTube, especially gaming, and especially with a first-person shooter, without maybe a sponsor, but that was so rare back in the day that it wasn't even on gaming's radar to get sponsors. But there was one way. Machinima was one of the most popular gaming community channels of all time. That sadly had a terrible ending, but that's neither here nor there. We're talking about the past today. If you were a YouTuber in Modern Warfare 2, your goal more than likely was to end up on Machinima. Machinima was a way to broadcast good YouTubers and good gameplay and help channels grow, as well as get some money for your hard work and good gameplays, depending how your video did. The majority of gameplays being shown on YouTube in 2009 were Modern Warfare 2. It was the most popular game at the time. And some of them brought in thousands of views, some of them brought hundreds of views, and some brought hundreds of thousands of views. Machinima was so popular that I was able to branch out into other channels, having the main Machinima channel to be able to upload all kinds of games, and not only just Call of Duty or Halo. There was Machinima Respawn, personal favorite, Realm, and Machinima Versus, just to name a few. But I want to talk about Machinima Respawn, the channel that focused on shooters and broadcasting FPS YouTubers and the such. Mr. Sark, who was previously on G4, was chosen as the host and broadcast people's gameplay in their YouTube channels. Some of the people who were pretty consistent on there were Hutch, CNanners, Gold Glove, and Muzzafuzza, just to name a few. One of the most popular people who were broadcast on there was Hutch. It seemed like everyone loved him, and he was bringing in views, so they featured him on a video where he 1v1 Sark in COD and Halo with incredible banter. And shortly after that, according to Hutch, they sat him down and offered him a full-time job, playing video games, uploading them to YouTube, going to conventions, interviewing devs, and the such. Then eventually CNanners was brought on, maybe 6 months to a year later, and one of the greatest shows on YouTube was born. Did I get sidetracked a little? Kind of. But I really just wanted to state the fact that Modern Warfare 2 was responsible for giving people jobs, full-time, salary, benefits, and everything, all because of a video game. Was Machinima the first? No, I don't exactly think so. I think maybe Rooster Teeth / Achievement Hunter might have been at least for gaming generally, but my point still stands. They were one of the first people out there. Since YouTube didn't pay YouTubers anything at all, and YouTube was more of just a place to go watch funny videos, this was huge. The Modern Warfare 2 era really opened a lot of doors for people and got them jobs or connections, which helped them down the line get jobs. Some people did the YouTube thing for a bit and then went on to bigger and better things, but a lot stayed in. And if they were able to move with the flow of how gaming YouTube worked or move to Twitch, they stayed successful. Jericho's a very big prime example of that. Nowadays, it's different. Machinima no longer exists, with YouTube themselves being able to pay people, having no need for Machinima anymore. Everything is about esports and being competitive. Hour-long playthroughs and retrospective, which kind of what this is. And to end it off, Modern Warfare 2 will go down as one of the greatest games of all time. And the change it made not only to gaming as a whole, but to YouTube as a whole. The impact it had changed the way YouTube was going and changed it for the better, giving people jobs and changing lives, starting from Modern Warfare 2.